Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Decoding with Cody, and I have a follow-up video from yesterday's video. In yesterday's video, I was talking about the Queen's secret death plan revealed, and they were talking about how the Queen has a interesting plan for her death, and then also the ascension of her son, the King, Prince Charles. And the main thing that you guys need to know here in this video is that I'm going to call this video probably the 234 Anomaly, because I just discovered a lot of interesting things with the number 234 and all of its variations like 423, 432, and so on. So let's talk about Operation Springtide. That's the operation of when the Queen dies, the ascension of Charles to the throne. And I'm going to show you gematria on how this ties together. So let's jump right in. So just remember the name Operation Springtide as we go through this slide. So the first thing that you guys should know is that Operation Springtide equals 234. And Queen Elizabeth II, when you spell out her whole title, equals 243. So remember, guys, there's different variations of the same number. And also notice that it almost has a direct match, her name, to Operation Springtide. So you have a 234, 108, 117. So just remember these combinations of numbers, because these are the numbers that are going to continue to come up. So yes, that's already crazy that that's a match right there. So the next thing is, if you go to her son, his full name is Charles Philip Arthur George, and if you take his full name, if you see in the top picture here, Charles Philip Arthur George, you're going to get a 234, and just like Operation Springtide, and just like Queen Elizabeth II is 243, but also notice that he has the 108, the 117, just like the other two phrases as well. Now, the name at the top there I just told you guys about, that's just his first three names, Charles Philip Arthur. And that just happens to match Operation Springtide, which is the plan for his ascension, right? You'll also notice that I added the second L, and I left a little reference here where it talks about how Philip can be spelled with two L's, and over the past 50 years, that is the most popular way to spell the name Philip, with two L's. But if you take Prince Charles's full name down here at the bottom, guys, you're going to get a direct match again with the 234 with Queen Elizabeth II. And so his full name matches Queen Elizabeth II. Again, with the 234, this is the number that's going to continue to come up over and over and over again. Let's move on. Now I want to talk about a WWE wrestler who's also tied to this number. And her wrestling name is Charlotte Flair. And her real name is Ashley Elizabeth Flair. And her wrestling name is Charlotte Flair, and her nickname in wrestling is the Queen. So you notice down here at the bottom, guys, I typed in the Queen Charlotte Flair, which is her nickname and her wrestling name combined. It equals 243, again matching Queen Elizabeth II, 243. And again, I put Charles Philip Arthur, the first three names of Queen Elizabeth's son, and the operation for his ascension. And notice there's not just a match in the one cipher, guys. It's got the 108, the 117, and the 234 or 243. Again, guys, her name is Elizabeth. Her middle name is Elizabeth. She's from Charlotte, and she is a match to Queen Elizabeth II and Operation Springtide. Also notice that her mother's name was Elizabeth Flair, and her dad's name was Ric Flair, but again, another Elizabeth connection there. And notice that they have her build from the Queen City, and that's Charlotte. But I'm going to show you how Charlotte is also tied with the great-granddaughter of the Queen. So let's move forward. Now let's bring in our president, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. His full name is, again, the same three numbers that continue to come up. The 243, if you go back, 243 matching Queen Elizabeth II, the 108, and the 117, all in Joseph Robinette Biden Jr.'s full name. Again, how much more rigged can you get? You're talking about the Queen and the President of the United States right now. So let's move on. I talked about this lady in my last video, but this is Madeleine Albright, who was the former Secretary of State, who passed away early this year on March 23rd, which just happens to be one day before the date that can be written 243, March 24th. And if you notice her full name, let me zoom in for you guys. Sorry about that. If you type in, her full name is Madeleine Jonna Corbel Albright. It's got the 234, the 117, and in 3 ciphers, she has a 234 and a 243. Again, that number continually comes up. The next lady I want to talk about is Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and her full name also equals 234 and 108, just like all the other 108s, and she died on September 18th, 2020 in Washington, D.C., the same place that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. I talked about these 2 ladies in my last video if you want to know more. So the next thing, this is the Queen's great-granddaughter, and her name is Charlotte. Remember, I just talked about the wrestler Charlotte, who's tied to the Queen, and now you have the name of her great-granddaughter is Charlotte, and she's known as Princess Charlotte of Cambridge, and of course she has, again, the 234 in her name. Again, that number comes up. And how about the girl that married into the family, who married the Queen's grandson, Prince Harry, and she just happens to have the same 3 numbers that these other people continually have, the 108, the 117, and the 234. Again, Meghan Dusich of Sussex equals Meghan Markle, Dusich of Sussex equals 234, 117, and 108. Again, not a coincidence. The same numbers over and over. Now let's bring Canada into it, because the Prime Minister of Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, equals 234 and 2 different ciphers. And again, the same number that continually comes up. So you got the Prime Minister of Canada, the President of the United States, the Queen of England, and just everyone seems to have this connection. Now let's talk about the Central Intelligence Agency. Well, if you type in Central Intelligence Agency, guys, it's going to have the 243, just like Queen Elizabeth II's 243, and it's got the 117. Again, same 2 numbers. And another interesting thing, guys, another variation of the 243 is it's got a 432, which is just rearranging an anagram of the 243. Again, this number, this combination of numbers continually coming up. And now we're tying it to our Central Intelligence Agency, right? So, and here's another interesting one, guys. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is essentially the stock market. Notice it has the 324. It had, in the Securities Exchange Commissions, the SEC, they have the 324. And I just threw this phrase in there because it's obvious that they have these deep underground military bases like Area 51 and etc. And you're going to see that they have a combination of the 324 throughout in every cipher. Again, guys, what are the chances you have multiple ciphers having this number? Again, not a coincidence. So again, the last guy I want to bring into this here is a guy that retired from football earlier this year. His name in Francis Bacon is 234. And notice that his full name, Benjamin Todd Roethlisberger Sr., is a direct match to the full name of the Queen, Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor, 138, 168, and 177. But just notice, guys, the same number that keeps coming up, the 234, again, in his name that he's most known by, which is Ben Roethlisberger. And again, guys, that's all I have for this video, but I just wanted to go through all these slides and just show you how much this same number comes up, the 234 anomaly. I don't know exactly how they do this, but it's definitely do it. And but I thanks you guys for tuning in to this video, and hope you guys have a good day. Please go support Zach over at Gematria Effect News 22, 23, 24. He has multiple channels, and right now they're live. I wish I could be there. Right now they are live in Oklahoma City, speaking up for the people of Gematria, and we're just spreading the truth. And I wish I could be there, but I just wanted to give a shout out to that happening currently right now. And hope you guys take care. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.